Hello everyone and welcome to this episode of Mystic Maintenance. Today we have Brenda.
Hola, bienvenidos a mi diario de vida.
Yes, absolutely. We're going to get all the tea. And thank you for the drink.
Oh, thank you.
To calm the nerves. Salud.
Salud for New Year.
Absolutely. Drinking to the New Year because we're recording on New Year's Eve.
Yes.
Yeah, it'll be released a little later, but we're recording on New Year's Eve and we're going to get all into 2025.
Right.
Yeah.
Esperemos que todo salga bien, que todo esté lindo.
Yes, we will make sure of it. So, have you ever gotten an astrology or a tarot reading
Never.
before?
Nunca en mi vida. Never.
Oh, no.
I've never done it. It's the first time.
¿Te da miedo?
Un poquito de nervios.
Oh.
Yeah, un
okay.
poquito de nervios. There's a lot of stuff I want to hear, but at the same time, there's stuff that I probably don't want to. It's kind of scary, pero I'm here for it.
Yes.
I'm ready. It's a new year, so let's get it.
En la cultura, I feel like a lot of brujas or fortune tellers will do a bunch of dumb shit and be like, "Te vas a morir" and all this bullshit.
They scare you out.
Yeah. I am not like that.
Okay, that's good to hear.
I give you the truth, but I deliver it in a way that's optimistic.
Don't haunt you forever.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people, especially if they come from the Latino community, are scared to ever do an astrology or tarot reading.
It's a taboo because they'll tell you ay, que si vas con el brujo, they're gonna tell you this, and how you gonna die and when. I'm like, oh, no, I don't want to do that.
No, we're not predicting death here. Did you watch Walter Mercado growing up?
No, I actually just moved to California. I've been here for 1 year, exactly 1 year.
Where did you live before?
I lived in, so I'm from New York. I was born in the Bronx.
Hey,
I know.
nice.
I'm from the hood. And from there, I moved to Delaware. So I lived in Delaware most of my life. And once I was tired of Delaware, I was like, I'm just going to California. I have plenty of family over there, and why not? So I'm here.
Nice.
Living the lavish life.
Awesome. Well, something that I see in your chart is off the bat your big three. Have you ever heard of that term?
No.
Okay, so big three is sun, moon, and rising, and that is just a set of astrological imprints when you're born that can really tell people a lot about you. Like when you introduce yourself and you say, for example, I'm Jen, I'm a Leo sun, Libra moon, Libra rising. A lot of people that are in astrology can tell a lot right off the bat.
Oh, yeah?
So, yeah, so for you are a Virgo sun. You knew you were a Virgo, right?
I'm a Virgo.
Yeah, you know you're a Virgo,
I
right?
know it.
Yeah,
I know all the way.
Yeah. So people usually know their sun signs because that's their birthday, right? That's predicted by their birthday. But then you're a Gemini moon.
Okay.
Yeah.
How is that?
So the moon moves every 2.5 days. So that's why when we ask for astrology, I need the day, the place, and to the minute when you were born because the moon moves so fast. And then the rising sign, which is the eastern horizon when you're born, that moves even faster. That moves every 2 hours.
Wait, is that good or bad?
I would say that in astrology there is no good or bad.
Okay.
I would say
in the
that
middle.
There's only unique.
Okay.
Yeah. Things that make you unique. So your moon is in Gemini. So the moon represents our emotions, especially when we feel comfortable. And a lot of my best friends growing up had their moon in Gemini.
Yeah, sounds like a strong emotions too.
Yeah. Moon in Gemini is very funny. I feel like they're very witty. I've only ever met you one time, so I'm really getting to know you for the first time right now. And immediately you have an awesome presence about you. And you're a lot funnier than I thought you were going to be for a Virgo, to be honest. So
yeah, I feel like that's because I'm an August Virgo.
Yeah, early stage Virgo, yep.
Because I have my brother, he's September, and he's all the time, so serious. And I'm just ha, ha, ha. So funny.
That is just definitely your Gemini moon kicking in. Very friendly, very social, intelligent, witty. And then your rising sign is in Cancer. So again, this is the Eastern horizon when you were born.
Okay.
And I like Cancer energy. I feel like they're very kind. And when they see the world, which is what your rising sign is, like how you process information, how you see the world, they're very caring. Like they'll give you, or these type of people will give the shirt off their back. Like they're super generous, super nice. So,
Okay.
And then I think your cousin also has a Cancer rising, if I remember correctly. So
I do have a cousin she's a Cancer.
yeah.
Oh my god. Shut up.
So maybe she was born under Cancer, but to have like your rising signs match is even rarer. So we interviewed Melody, and Melody has a Cancer rising. So you and her probably understand each other very well because you see life through the same perspective.
Very good friends.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, that is what your big three is. So your sun in Virgo, your moon in Gemini, and then your rising in Cancer.
Okay.
I love that combination for you.
Okay.
Very, very balanced. Yeah. Since you are a Virgo, I do have to ask, do you like Beyonce?
That's a funny question. I do a little bit.
A little bit. I've never met a Virgo that dislikes Beyonce because
Hey,
Beyonce
she's the mother.
She is Mother Virgo. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, awesome. So I love that you knew when you were born. Otherwise, like, we couldn't do all of these timing techniques.
I had to ask my mom.
You had to ask your mom?
Yeah, I had to ask my mom, like, what time I was born? Like, how would I know? She knew everything. So I was like,
Wow.
okay, mom. Okay. You remember?
How did she react?
No, so I text her because I didn't really call her. I just texted her. I'm like, Mom, I need to know, like, when I was born, what time, la 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 la. She was just like, for what? Is somebody like asking you? I'm like, no, I'm like, es que tengo que hacer una sesión con una amiga y nada más necesitamos saber eso. Y yeah, she sent the message, she's like, oh, pues estabas nacido en el 3 de la mañana. I'm like, oh, I'm a morning baby. And it was surprising for me. So I was like, oh, shoot, my mom knows everything. I'm her first child, so she should know.
You're the firstborn.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, well, being a firstborn and also having so many Virgo placements, you have your sun in Virgo, your Mercury in Virgo, and your North Node in Virgo. I could tell that you were definitely like your mom's helper. Like you were like a second little mom, like putting order to things. You were very kind, and you still have that like childlike essence with your Gemini moon, but with all those Virgo placements, I could definitely see that you were helpful around the house for sure.
Yeah, I love to help. I love to be the helpful person. Give a hand. My mom would say, give a hand so you can receive a hand. Oh, don't expect it, but give it. I'm like, okay. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. When I was looking at your chart and comparing it to everything that's coming through the pipeline in 2025, what I really see, like the theme, is that pressure builds a diamond. So, you know how diamonds are created through pressure? Because it's basically like pressurized carbon. Have you ever heard that saying?
No.
Okay. Well, that's how diamonds are made, under like extreme carbonized pressure. So it's basically like lo fácil no vale. Yeah, what's easy isn't really worth anything. So the first half of 2025, I definitely see that it's going to be a little bit challenging, but then I'm so excited for the second half of 2025 when you're really going to shine.
But I'm a challenge person. I love challenges, I take them as work.
Yes, absolutely. Well, you were born in 97. You're a 97 baby.
Yeah.
You are going to enter your Saturn return in 2025. Have you ever heard the saying Saturn return? Okay. No. Well, we have a whole episode on Saturn returns that you can listen to, but I'll also give you the notes. So Saturn return is basically when Saturn comes back to the place that it was when you're born, and it's like a level up.
It's like a restart?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So a lot of people think you're an adult when you're 18. Other people say that you're an adult at 25 when your prefrontal cortex, or that part of your brain, develops. Spiritually, we're not an adult in my eyes until we go through our Saturn return.
Huh.
Yeah.
Hey, that's good to know.
Yeah.
I'm finally growing, people.
Finally growing, finally developing. Yeah, I'm so excited. And specifically, this is going to be around the theme of work. So, what do you do for work right now?
I work for Melody's sister. I work at the
Okay.
JC Insurance.
Nice.
So I just passed my test, which is so
Oh,
exciting. I know it
congratulations.
took so long. I was like at that point where I was giving up. I was like, no, I'm not gonna do this no more. You know, it's that Gemini coming in.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't want to do this anymore. And then finally I passed, which it made me feel so relieved.
Nice.
Because I feel like I'm free, and I'm hoping, I'm expecting like a lot after this. You know,
Yeah.
a good thing, everything good, good vibes.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So we do have Venus retrograding. So when something is retrograde, it means that it's an optical illusion where it looks like the planet is moving backwards.
Okay.
But in astrology, it actually does move backwards. And that's a time to reflect and appreciate what we've done. So Venus is retrograding in Aries through your house of career. So probably in like February, March, you might be able to realize like this is why it was all worth it. This is why I'm supposed to be here. And you may even get recognized by other people like, hey, I never told you this in the past, but like I'm so proud of XYZ thing that you did.
Yeah.
So,
How cute.
yes. So I'm excited for that. But also the other side of Venus retrograde is that sometimes exes come back or try to slide into your DMs.
De una vez te digo que no regreses. Aléjate.
Yeah. So what is your relationship status right now?
Right now, I just want money. That's it. That's all I'm focused on, growing myself. I want to like grow not only mentally and physically. Well, physically I already know I can't, but I just want to like money wise grow, you know. I want to focus in like that because there's a lot to do, a lot of plans coming up, and I have a whole future in the front. And also my family, you know, my mom, my siblings. I'm very a family person.
Oh, nice.
So, you know, I'm trying to like help them too. Like if I help myself, I want to help them too, you know. Grow together. It's just, you know, this is like, give me a hand, I'll give you a hand.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm just hoping money.
Money.
Work.
Absolutely. Well,
Yeah.
this is a good year for that because you're going to have a lot of activity in your spheres of career. But before I get into that, when was the last time have you ever been in a relationship?
Yeah, I have. Last time I've been in a relationship, it's probably like 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah, it wasn't really a nice relationship though.
Ooh.
Yeah, it wasn't really. I wasn't really appreciated. But it is what it is. You know, you gotta get over it. It's just a relationship.
Well, yeah. During Venus retrograde, sometimes people look back at their past lovers. And it's funny that we talked about being appreciated in the past. So during this time, this person might think of you and be like, oh, I didn't appreciate them enough. And that they might try to slide into your DMs. So
No.
you already have the plan. You're going to say no. You're
No.
going to block.
All the way, no.
Yeah. Okay.
Cruz, que se vaya el diablo y venga Jesús.
Yes. Okay, great. Well, I'm glad that you have a plan laid out and that this year you're like, I'm going to focus on
Yeah.
myself. Because we can sort of tell what the energy is going to be like for the year also by adding up the numbers. It's called numerology. So for 2025, if you add 2025, it equals 9.
Okay.
And then the tarot 9 is the hermit, which is very introspective and like solitary, ermitaño sort of vibes.
Huh.
Yeah. So the fact that you're already like, nobody bother me, I'm just
Please.
trying to make my money. Perfect timing for that.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
good to hear. Thank you.
Yeah. So another thing in terms of money is that there is a geometric calculation of a invisible point in the sky between the sun and moon when you were born. It's called a part of fortune, and for you, that is in your 4th house of family under Libra. So we have every sign within us in different combinations. So it's really funny when people are like, I don't like this sign or that sign, even though I'm notorious to say stuff against like Tauruses. But it's like we all have that within us. So Libra rules your chart in terms of like your family. So when you say that family matters and is really important to you, that's because Libra rules that part for you.
Get out. Lo siento.
Are you the peacekeeper in your family?
¿Cómo?
Like, como si hay problemas, si los primos están peleando or whatever, like, are you the one that's like,
laugh.
you just laugh?
laugh about it. Be like, yo, you guys are fighting for what?
Interesting. Well, I definitely see that family means a lot to you. You also have Venus in your 4th house under Libra. So when you think of your ideal partner in the future, does your family have to approve? Does that matter to you?
You're so funny. Why are you saying this like nothing? Sí. No, sí, o sea, de hecho a mi mamá nunca le he presentado una pareja oficial porque creo que es muy importante que si yo le presento a alguien sea la persona con la que realmente me voy a quedar y voy a construir mi vida, mi futuro. Entonces, para mí es muy importante que mi mamá vea eso en mí, ¿no? Como que diga, ay, es que no diga como que, ay, cada rato me trae novias, ¿no? No, like, quiero ser esa persona donde dice, ¿sabes qué, mamá? Conocí a mi pareja, y llévense bien, porque es la primera pareja que te he presentado. Entonces, mi mamá no, para mí es muy importante eso. Ella no puede decir como que, ay, mi hija siempre ha estado de hoe, ¿no? Ahí trayéndome mujeres, No. Pero sí, es muy importante que mi mamá apruebe la persona con la que voy a estar el resto de mi vida. Porque mi mamá es bien tranquila y creo que ella sabe los sentimientos de las personas. Puede notar cuando esa persona es buena para mí o no buena. So, yeah, my mom is, my sweetheart.
Aww. Your first love.
First love, my mom.
Yes. A lot of people describe their mom that way, and it's so beautiful. And the moon can also reflect our relationship with our mom. And since your moon is in Gemini, Gemini is very like social, like your other half, like one of your friends. So yeah, that's awesome que se llevan así.
Yeah, well, my mom, she's a Sagittarius. But I don't really like Sagittarius people. I don't know why.
Interesting.
They're like heavy.
Yeah, I could see that. You have Pluto in your 5th house, and Pluto is one of the more challenging, like, celestial bodies that is about basically tearing down to build up like a phoenix from the ashes. It's a lot of like challenge, so I could see why maybe you're not necessarily interested in Sagittarius, but some of the more, I guess, complementary signs for you. So your rising sign is on the eastern horizon, and then your descendant is on the western horizon. That's what we're attracted to in other people. So you have that in Capricorn, but then, like I said, you also have your Venus in Libra. So maybe look out either for like Capricorn energy or Libra energy, but ultimately, if they're earth or if they're air, those are good complementary elements for you.
Okay. I feel like Capricorns are perfect for Virgos for a reason. It's just, and the way that I seen how Capricorns like money too. No, and they like both. So I'm like, I like both too. So I feel like it's a good team up. Pero I don't know. I never met a Capricorn in my life.
Maybe you will in 2026, because 2025 is focusing on ourselves. Yes, absolutely. This last month, we have been in a Mars retrograde. So, like I said, moving backwards, Mars is the planet of like anger, manifestation, sometimes sexual drive. But because it's moving backwards in Leo, which is like the 1st house of self, have you felt more angry recently or like a little more short-fused?
Angry?
Or a little more like annoyed with people?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's some people, bro. There's just some people. No, pero... ¿sabes qué? Creo que este año de por sí no fue un año muy bueno para mí.
What happened?
El 2024 me trajo bastantes sentimientos. Y hablando sentimientos es todos. Me sentía triste, me sentía enojada, me sentía decepcionada. Me he sentido de todo este 2024. Creo que esa es la razón del por qué también quiero mejor ya enfocarme en lo que es nada más en mí. ¿Ves? Y Pero sí, este 2024 definitivamente, para el carajo, ya que se vaya. Adiós.
Luckily, we have like less than 12 hours at this point.
For
Yeah.
real. Thank you, God.
And then you have a brand new start. But decepcionada con otras personas.
Sí, con
Yeah.
otras personas y a cierto punto a veces conmigo, porque me miro así como que, ay, estoy en esta edad y qué he hecho o así, o qué tengo que hacer, ¿no? Y es eso, que yo soy muy sobrepensativa, siempre sobrepensando las cosas y sí, pues sí, de todo he sentido este año.
Yeah.
Igualmente este año se llevó muchas cosas de mi vida, personas en las que yo apreciaba. Este año murió mi abuela, mi mamá. Yeah.
Oh,
It's
no.
like my mom.
Oh, my
So
condolences.
she passed away in June, which it was like horrible. And since then I already knew, I'm like, no, this year it needs to end. I need something new, and that's what it is.
So we have Uranus right now transiting through Taurus, which Uranus is a disruptor. It's like have you ever played Uno?
Sí.
It's like the wild card in Uno, is how I like to describe it. The wild card where like anything can happen.
Oh,
you can choose any card.
Okay. Color.
Yeah. So, because it's going through the final degrees of Taurus right now and is going through your 11th house of like connections, I can definitely see why your networks are a little bit shaky. However, it's going to keep going into Gemini, which is the second half of your 11th house. So, you still have to be careful with who you associate with and your networks, maybe for like the next year or two. However, this is a good opportunity for you to see, are people valuing me and treating me well? Like, do they even deserve my energy? Is a big question that you're going to ask yourself in 2025.
I'm already asking myself that.
Yeah.
The year hasn't ended.
But you're finally going to get more comfortable with being like, no, I reclaim my energy. I reclaim my time. Like, if you're not treating me well, then I'm not going to have anything to do with you.
That's good to know. Thank you.
Yeah, a lot of self-development. But I also see this as a big year for your self-esteem as well.
I see a lot of Virgo.
You do have a lot of Virgo, yeah.
Shoot. Is that has to be like with the day that I was born or no?
Yeah.
See?
Well, the planets, they move at different speeds depending on how far away they are from the sun. So, like I said, the fastest thing that changes is your rising sign because that's the horizon. And then the moon, and then Mercury, and so on and so forth. And then the thing that moves the slowest is Pluto.
Oh.
But going back to your self-esteem, how has your self-esteem been recently? What are you doing to take care of yourself and appreciate yourself?
I'm working.
Yeah.
I'm a hard worker person. I love to work. If I can't have a day off, I don't take a day off. I'll stay myself focused on grinding. Because that keeps me busy and I love it. I love being busy every day. So
Classic Virgo.
Yeah.
That's such a Virgo thing to say.
Yeah.
Keep me busy all the time.
Keep me busy because my mind can play me a lot. Definitely, yeah.
This is the difference that I talked about with like Virgos versus Capricorns, is that Capricorns are very like, this is what I want and this is how I'm going to get it, versus Virgos, like they're organized too, but it stems from a place of anxiety.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Virgos are very anxious and sometimes workaholics, just because like it helps you take your mind off the anxiety. Like if I'm doing something, I don't have time to think about all the ways things can go wrong. Yeah,
Definitely.
However, we do have in the second half of 2025 Jupiter crossing into Cancer, which is your 12th house, which is the house of the subconscious, the self, like also self-esteem and mental health. So I see in the second half of 2025, if you want to, you could explore themes of like, who am I outside of work? Like, why am I a special great person outside of work? Really like valuing yourself and finding that joy within yourself. So a lot of like personal growth at the second half of 2025.
So este año lo que sí quiero hacer es salir más. No salir como partying, nothing like that, sino que salir más lugares donde puedo ser yo, ¿no? Donde puedo estar en paz, pensando las cosas bien, ¿no? Más que nada con mi mascotita, mi perrita, que me encanta, mi Luna. Creo que ella me ha ayudado bastante también en mis sentimientos, porque pues un animal siempre va a ayudarte, ¿no? Si te sientes mal, tu animalito te va a animar. Entonces, ese es el plan de este año. Espero salir un poquito más a recorrer, no sé, maybe skiing, maybe go up to the mountains, así, ¿no? Encontrar nuevos hobbies.
Yeah.
I like music a lot too, so I'm like trying to get like classes for, because I like to play piano, so I'm trying to like join a couple classes for that to, you know, like get a new improvar más mi talento en el piano. Yeah.
So your fifth house, which is the house of hobbies, is ruled by Scorpio, and they're very intuitive, and creative. So you can definitely pick up instrumental talents or even like artistic talents very, very quickly.
I am very artistic.
Yeah.
I love drawing. I love playing music. I also played drums back when I was a kid, and la trompeta.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
very, a lot of skills.
Yeah, very creative, intuitive person. So I know that you're interested in picking up more instruments. So yeah, you'll definitely fly through that very, very easily. And then the sixth house, your sixth house is ruled by Sagittarius, and that is where we see our daily routine, also our interaction with our pets. As a fellow dog mom, totally understand. But with Sagittarius, it's very interesting having it there because you can have a good time, or you may find more enjoyment traveling with your pet. Because Sagittarius is a very like nomadic sign.
Cute.
Yeah, so if you go on some adventures with your doggy, you might have a great time.
Awesome. That's what we're expecting. Me and Luna are expecting this.
Oh, nice. I took Lucy to Yosemite and she had a great time.
Yeah, I'm going to Yosemite today. And I'm taking Luna with me. Yeah.
Oh my God, today?
Her first snow, yeah.
Wow.
So I'm planning like to spend New Year's over there, myself and her. And I invited my nephew and his girlfriend, but I'm not sure if they're going.
Oh, wow.
But I'm definitely down. I'm going. So I'm taking Luna to see her first snow.
Aww.
I'm excited to see how she reacts.
How cute.
Yeah.
Lucy also liked the snow. Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, that's going to be a very special New Year's.
Yeah.
And very interesting that you're doing it like by yourself.
Yeah, I need to. It's my heart is asking for it. So
yes.
Follow my heart.
Yeah, this is definitely a year of like growth, evolution, looking inward. But then we have eclipses happening, and they're going to happen in Virgo, but also in like Pisces and Aries.
Is that good?
So eclipse season is a little chaotic, because it's a big like energy portal where a concentrated amount of energy is focused on a particular area of life. So, for example, if someone was meant to move and get a better job, sometimes all of a sudden, like, the company could downsize, it may not work out, they may get, like, let go, but then that was the push that they needed to get to the other job anyway, versus, like, them figuring it out on their own, like, in 4 years. It, like, speeds up the timeline.
Oh.
It's like a big magnet, a big push that's like, maybe you should focus this way. Ultimately, you own your own destiny. I don't believe that like anything is superseded.
Yeah.
It's more just like a big current being like, consider this.
Sí, una arcada ahí de cuello.
So, you are having your eclipse story in your third house, but also in your ninth and 10th house throughout 2025. So there's a big emphasis on communication, neighborhood, philosophy, and higher learning, and also career. So again, very like introspective themes this year.
Okay.
Yeah. So the fact that you're also considering like, how can I grow in my career? How can I stabilize in my career? You're going to get a lot of those big pushes for you to realize like what you need to do to stabilize in your career this year.
Cute.
Have you ever had your tarot cards read?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Would you be open to a tarot card reading
For sure.
as well?
Anything.
Yeah. So let's ask what you need to focus on in 2025. We already have a lot of information from the astrology, but I like to pair it with a tarot reading so that we get like even more detailed information.
Hey, these margaritas are nice. Hey, that flavor, sheesh.
It's really good. Yeah, I know. When you were like, can we drink? I'm like, oh, this person is going to be fun. They're going to be really fun.
O sea, yo hablo más cuando tengo un toquecito de tequila en mí.
Yo bailo más cuando tengo tequila.
Hey, I love dancing too. I love dancing.
I can't dance sober. I get too self-conscious, but when I'm drinking, I'm like,
that's
hey. All right. And then, I apologize. I'm working with like limited space, but let me get a few more cards in here. All right. So I'm a little bit different than a normal tarot reader because I work with 4 different decks, 4 different types of cards. Usually they just work with like 1 or 2, but I always like to work with 4 because I feel like it gives a more well-rounded reading.
Okay,
so,
okay.
We'll just, meanwhile I get the rest of the cards, we'll just start with what I have right now. So for your focus for 2025, we have the 9 of Swords, which I know that looks like a scary card because it's literally someone crying in bed.
This?
Yes.
Okay.
But what that shows is that you are pushing yourself to get out. Like maybe you're working through it, maybe you're in your feelings, but you're moving forward, you're getting up. So you're closing any wounds that you had prior 2024, 2023, and finally getting over it.
Okay.
To where you're getting closer to just living in happiness instead of focusing on what went wrong. And then in terms of what you need to let go of, we got Strength reversed, which is very interesting. And this says that maybe you put yourself down or you don't recognize like your own talents. Like you're your own worst critic.
I'm my own judger.
Yes.
I'm my own. I always say that. Like, este va a ser un episodio donde escuchamos al Virgo y lo juzgamos. That's me. That's very me. Yeah, I judge myself so much. Y, ¿sabes? Estoy agradecida que las personas que he conocido este año, o sea, el 2024 me ha traído bueno, pero también me ha traído malo, pero también me ha traído cosas muy buenas y eso lo hablo por más personas. Estoy bendecida de estar rodeada de estas personas ahorita porque la forma en que yo sé cómo me juzgo yo misma, me pongo en ese lugar donde digo, ay, no valgo nada o no soy nada, o, ¿ves? Entonces estas personas son como que, don't say that about yourself because you're awesome, you're doing an awesome job, you know? And it's very nice because they make me think otherwise. Y I feel like that helps a lot on my self-esteem, ¿no? Pero... yeah, definitely. That's definitely me right there.
But do you watch RuPaul's Drag Race by any chance?
No.
No. Okay, so RuPaul's Drag Race is a show with... Do you know what a drag queen is?
Sí.
Okay, so it's a reality competition show with drag queens. I love that show. And RuPaul always says, if you can't love yourself, how do you expect anyone to love you?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That is right.
So I know it's great to have that external validation and people to be like, no, you're fabulous, you're awesome, you're sexy, whatever. But like, you need to tell yourself that.
Yeah.
It's the hardest way to compliment yourself.
Es que soy Virgo.
Yeah, I know, and that makes it triple.
Es bien difícil, de verdad.
Hasta más difícil, yeah.
Sí, porque pues uno dice, bueno, yo siempre he sido de que una persona que tengo que hacerlo todo yo sola, ¿no? Realmente nunca necesité personas que me ayudaran a hacer lo que soy ahorita o lo que voy a llegar a hacer. E incluso en mi familia yo nunca he sido como que, ay, ma, dame esto, dame lo otro. Nunca, yo siempre fui como que yo lo quiero, yo lo consigo con mis propias manos, ¿no? Entonces, mi mamá siempre me enseñó a que tengo que trabajar por lo que yo deseo, lo que yo quiero. Y por eso pienso que soy así. Porque siempre he dicho como que, ay, yo sola lo hago todo, yo sola. Y creo que eso fue lo que a mí también me tuvo en ese momento de que decir que no me valoro, ¿no? Porque quiero hacer más y lo que estoy haciendo ahorita para mí no es suficiente. So esta es la manera que lo veo, pero you're so right. I need to start telling myself how worth I am in this life. No?
Absolutely. And then speaking of doing it yourself, for career, you got justice. So with that, that tells me that what you put into it, you're going to get out of it. So if you work hard, you're going to be compensated. So
Lady Liberty this year.
yes, yes. And then for shadow work, have you ever heard the term shadow work?
Shadow work? Like shadow, like...
Yeah, like your shadow side. Have you ever heard that term?
No.
Have you heard of self-care?
See.
Okay, so when people think of self-care, they think of the cute, like, I'm gonna get my nails done, I'm gonna go shopping. Like, shadow work is the difficult self-care of, like, I have to take my medicine, I have to go to the doctor, I have to work out, like, the things that we know are good for us, but it's difficult to do.
Yeah.
So that is shadow work. So for you, I got Colorless Angel, which is a very interesting card. Not to call you out, I always get this card with my depressed gay people. I always get this card with my depressed...
This is it.
You're like, I'm leaving. Too real. So it's like, you need to bring the color back into your life. You're already part of the rainbow mafia. What's going on? You're living in gray right now. You need to embrace the rainbow. So
it's really hard.
It is. I know.
Hey, you're so funny. How you going?
That card never fails me. Like, I may not know someone, but I'm like, oh.
You got depression.
You have depression and you're gay.
You got problems. Better fix them.
I'm also part of the Rainbow Mafia. I'm bisexual, so I understand being...
It's being gay. It's just being gay.
It's just being gay.
It's part of being us.
Yeah, absolutely. And then for self-care, this is like the fun self-care. We got spend time with animals, which is beautiful. You already talked about spending time with your doggy, so you're off to a good start. And then use your hands. And we already talked about you being an awesome creative person. To like make art, you need to use your hands. To like play an instrument, you need to use your hands. So you're already on the right track. Your intuition is strong for what you need to do. You already called it out and the cards are confirming it.
Right.
Yeah.
So funny.
That's awesome.
You gave me look. Give me the chills right now.
How do you say it in Spanish? Piel de pollo.
Oh, sí, se me eriza la piel. Con lo que estás diciendo.
And then finally, an affirmation. I am worry-free. I release worry over things I cannot control. Instead, I choose to focus on things that are pleasing to me. When I release worry, I allow room for solutions to enter my life. I am worry-free, which is so hard as a Virgo. Virgo has all the worries in the world.
I worry about you, about me, about the neighbor, about everybody in this world.
But focusing on, like, what can I do about this right now? Like, sometimes at 3 a.m, I'll be thinking of like a million things and I have to tell myself, like, what can you do about it at 3 a.m? Nothing. So yeah, definitely sometimes thinking to yourself, like, worrying will not help in this situation. If anything, it can drain you. Like, I was having that last night at 3 a.m, thinking of the million things I need to do, but then I was like, if I'm sleep deprived, that's not gonna help me, that's gonna hurt me. Yeah. So I need to go to sleep.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, that's a good card.
Yeah, I love that deck. I love that affirmation deck. But overall, I mean, it's still gonna have its challenges. A lot of, like, you know, self-development, looking within yourself, addressing these patterns, and like how you're your own biggest critic and things like that. But I definitely see a diamond forming within you.
I am a crystal gem.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Well, any ladies seeing this, if you're interested in Brenda, don't call till 2026.
Please.
Focusing on herself right now.
Don't come in and break my heart like this. Please. It's not time to break ups. It's time to grow ups.
Yes. Glow up. Growing up on your own. And yeah, so what did you think of your first astrology and tarot reading?
It's very interesting. It's exactly what I was expecting. I told my friend, like, I'm nervous, but I only thing I want to hear is that I'm gonna grow this year. Mm-hmm. I told her, I'm like, I want to grow, and I'm growing. I'm expecting to hear that. So you confirmed everything I was thinking, and definitely we're taking this away.
The gay depression.
For real. Because it's not helping. Pero te agradezco bastante.
Aww.
De verdad, te agradezco bastante. Todo lo que dijiste es lo que esperaba escuchar. cosas muy buenas. Estoy con los brazos abiertos para el 2025. Creo que va a ser un año muy bueno para mí. Hay muchas cosas por hacer que tengo que terminar, que empezar y terminar, ¿no? So, va a ser un año de muchos proyectos. Y sí, vamos a ver qué sale de este 2025. Espero no me trate tan mal, because 25 is actually my day of birth. The day I was born on the 25th.
Nice.
So I'm like, okay,
Good
25th.
number. Good
Yeah,
number.
good number. So I'm like playing the lottery on 25. You know, and I'm like, I'm excited for this year. I'm only 27.
Yeah, exactly. You're still growing
I'm
up.
still
Yeah,
growing,
you're like
yeah.
an astrological teenager, but you're gonna be an adult very soon with your Saturn return. Well, thank you so much for stopping
Thank
by.
you.
It was a pleasure. All right, until next time. Bye, everyone.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.